Today, I want to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before I started breeding Axies in Axie Infinity. I know that it seems like a really simple, straightforward game where you can just breed cute Axies and make tons of profit, but it's actually a little bit more complicated than that, and these are the 5 things I wish I knew before I started breeding that would have made my breeding experiences a lot more profitable from the very beginning. So if this sounds like a video that you're interested in, remember to leave a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell for future videos. My name is Jake, you're watching On-Chain Gaming. Let's get into it.
On-Chain Gaming.
All right, the first thing that I wish I knew about before I started breeding in Axie Infinity is a Google Chrome extension which helps you see way more information in the Axie Infinity marketplace. Because it might seem like you have your Axies and they have their parts, and if you want to Axie with the specific parts that you want, then you should find 2 Axies with those parts. But it's a little bit more complicated than that because Axies actually have recessive genes. The dominant gene is the one that you see, but Axies have recessive genes, and Axies have double recessive genes as well. So this extension is called Freaks Axie Extension, and when you install it onto your Chrome, it will show you both an Axie's genes and an Axie's recessive and double recessive genes. So it gives you way more information about what an Axie's genes actually are and all of the potential possibilities of an Axie's offspring, because a double recessive gene can show itself as a dominant gene in an offspring. Even though it's unlikely, it's possible. So this is a really cool tool that I wish I had when I was first breeding in Axie Infinity, but this second tool I think you guys are gonna find even more interesting. So before we jump into this, remember all of the links for all of the tools that I'm talking about in this video are in the description. So this second tool is on Axie.zone, and it is a breeding simulator, which is really, really cool because you can actually type in the Axie ID of the Axies you want to breed, and it will tell you the percentage chance of all of the possible offspring. So this second thing is so useful when breeding Axies because it tells you exactly how likely you are to have the Axie baby that you're shooting for. So let's say that I was breeding my Mystic Axie, Axie 24, which I wouldn't actually do. There's no reason to breed a Mystic Axie because you can't ever have Mystic babies. It's impossible. But let's say I was breeding my Mystic Axie number 4 with Axie number 300. So you type in both Axies that you're thinking about breeding, you click the little breed button, and it shows you exactly the odds of the babies that you could have. So you click this little toggle odds button and you can see your chance of each eye possibility, your chance of each ear part, your chance of each mouth part, your chance of each horn part. So let's look at the tail here, for example. We have a 37.5% chance of a wall gecko tail. We have a 37.5% chance as well for a Hatsoon tail. And then we have a 9.3% chance for a couple parts as well. And yeah, you can calculate through and see all of the chances for everything that the baby is going to be. You can even see the percentage chance of each color that your Axie baby might be. We can see here that my Axie baby, if I were to breed these two, would have a 46% chance of being a dark plant and a 40% chance of being a white fish. So very interesting stats here. And if you roll down, it shows you, it just rolls the dice and says, oh, here's one possible baby you could have. And then I rolled it twice. Here's a second possible baby that I could have. And this is a really cool tool, maybe one of my favorite tools for seeing what your breeds might turn out to be. Now let's talk about the third thing I wish I knew before I started breeding Axies in Axie Infinity. And you can find this link in the description as well. But if you go to Axie.zone/leaderboards, you can see all of the very top players in Axie Infinity. These are the very best players with the highest MMR that exists in the entire Axie Infinity universe. And what's really cool about this website is if you click on one of the Axie battlers, let's click on number 2 here, we can see Lord Cthulhu And if we look here and click on him, we can see exactly which Axie teams he's battling with. And this is a really, really cool tool because we can also see his most used Axie team. And the reason this is a cool tool or a cool thing to know about when breeding Axies is because oftentimes the Axies that are performing the best in the arena will sell for the most on the Axie marketplace. Why? Because people are looking for powerful Axies that are going to allow them to win more games in Axie Infinity. So if you're breeding Axies that turn out the same as the Axies that the very top players are using, then you can be sure that you can sell these Axies for a good price. So this is just a really cool thing to be able to just look through and see what are the best Axies right now, and it will give you ideas for what kinds of Axies you should try to breed. All right, now let's move to the fourth thing I wish I knew before I started breeding Axies, and this is another great tool on Axie.zone, and it is /builds. You can find this link in the description. And this Axie builds page is gonna show you some of the most popular Axie builds in both player versus environment and player versus player. Now, I would recommend searching mostly for player versus player. This is the most important thing in my mind, as any Axie team can level up to max and make it very far in arena. So you don't really need to breed a specific team or specific Axies for arena, although I understand that some players like arena a lot and are looking specifically to focus on arena. So there are some people out there that will pay you for really good PvE builds. But what I like using this tool for is to see some of the most popular builds for player versus player. And this is really cool because you can see exactly what the most popular builds are, but then if you click search build here, so this is a pure DD Axie bird, which is really strong in the meta right here, it will actually show you all of the Axies that are for sale right now. And if you click the Axie, it will bring it up in the Axie Infinity marketplace. So you can see that the cheapest Axie that's this popular build costs 1.716 Ethereum, which is almost $400. So this can help you calculate what these Axies that you're breeding might be able to sell for on the marketplace. It's a great tool because it will allow you to calculate, is it worth putting this much SLP in, this much AXS into this breed in order to generate this Axie. And you can see what your Axie will probably be and see what that Axie is currently selling for on the marketplace so that you can know whether or not it's worth breeding that Axie. So this is a really cool tool. You can see some of the most popular Axie breeds. It gives you an idea of what to try to breed for, and you can click through and see exactly what these Axie builds are selling for right now today on the Axie marketplace. I wish I knew about this when I started breeding in Axie Infinity. Now let's talk about the fifth and final thing that I wish I knew. And guys, these are not in any particular order, but this is a really cool thing as well. And this is on the Axie Infinity marketplace. Like, you just go to the home page of Axie Infinity, marketplace.axieinfinity.com. It actually shows recently sold Axies. And this is an incredible tool because you can look through here and you can see what Axies might be going for an exceptionally high price. So if I look through here, you can see, okay, most of these Axies are selling for like 0.14, 0.15, pretty normal. But let's see here. Oh, this Axie actually sold for 0.2 Ethereum. So maybe that would be a slightly more desirable Axie to try and breed. But let's keep looking through here because maybe we can even find a more desirable Axie to breed based on what is selling. Oh, here we can see an Axie sold for 0.35 Ethereum. That's almost $800. So let's click on this Axie and see exactly what cards this Axie has. So first of all, this Axie is a zero breed Axie, which is important to note because that increases its value because it has a lot more potential that it can add to the ecosystem because it hasn't been bred yet. But we can see that it's just a normal Rimp Axie with actually 2 Nutcracker cards. But the really great synergy in this is the single combat card and the Ivory Stab card. Because the single combat card is a guaranteed crit and the Ivory Stab card gains energy every time you crit. So really great synergy here. So we can just see this is a great Axie all around, and it sold for almost $800. So by looking at recent sales, we can say, man, right now this is a hot Axie to breed. If I could breed this Axie and sell it for $800, then that would probably be pretty cool. So by looking through the Axie history, you can see which Axies are actually selling for the highest prices today, which will help you determine which Axies you want to breed. So these are the 5 things I wish I knew before I started breeding in Axie Infinity. If you found this video helpful, please leave a thumbs up. That would help out this video a ton in the YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate it. When the YouTube algorithm sees people giving thumbs up, it recommends the video to more people. So it's a great way to help this video get seen by more and more people. And then if you watch this whole video and you're not subscribed yet, then what are you doing? Make sure you hit subscribe and click that notification bell, and you'll be notified when we post new future Axie Infinity videos and just blockchain gaming play to earn videos in general. And if you guys didn't know, we're actually giving away 2 Axie Infinity scholarships this month. So if you are just excited about Axie Infinity but aren't a player yet and want a free team to be able to use, then make sure you look in the description, go to our Axie Infinity Scholarship Discord page, and it will show you how to enter the giveaway to possibly win one of the 2 Axie teams that we're giving out for free this month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Patreon supporters, for your support. It means a ton. I'm not making these videos by myself. I say this every video, but it's because they're so helpful. Nate, my brother, edits all these videos. Josh does all of the sound and music production, and we really appreciate, like I said, that support on Patreon. You guys are enabling us to make this content, so thank you so much. And also thank you everyone who's leaving thumbs ups. Have fun in Axie Infinity, and until next time, everyone, have fun roaming the metaverse.